Hey guys, what's up? Jurassic Ninja here, and today I want to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be showing you how I actually make a side-by-side episode. It's really not as complicated as some of you might think, or it is as complicated as some of you might think. I don't really know. It takes me a while to make each episode, so this is the process. So basically what I do is I go to the system of choice, so let it be PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, PS3, GameCube, the Wii, yada 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 yada. And if you look here, I have this device called Live Gamer Extreme from AverMedia. Now, this is hooked up to my computer through a USB 3.0. That way, I can play on my monitor without any latency or lag, which is pretty awesome. On the back, it's got quite a lot of hookups. I have the component cables, which is for like the PlayStation 2, the Nintendo Wii, GameCube, and Xbox. But what's really great is I have this DVD VCR combo player, which has composite in, which is the yellow, white, and red cable, and it has a component out, right? So I can do this component cable on the back of this DVD player to this hookup. That way, in the front of my DVD player here, I can hook up all my old consoles, you know, like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PS1, Nintendo 64, Sega Saturn, you know, all of that stuff. And that way I can record straight to my computer through components still. Now this device also has HDMI hookup, which is, you know, for the PS3, Xbox One, and yada yada. You know, you understand. You all know what HDMI is. That's the world we live in today, is with the HDMI. So after it's all hooked up, I put the disc in the system of choice. I then boot up my AverMedia software and start capturing the gameplay. But for my next episode, I'm going to be doing Gears of War 4. And my Xbox One actually only came with a digital download. Now what's really sweet about this digital download is that it downloads for the Xbox One obviously, but it also allows you to download it for free on Windows 10. And I must say that's a really cool feature that the Microsoft games are doing. So this episode I will not be showing you any discs, but I will boot up my Xbox One and load up the software and show you how I capture it. Alright everyone, I'm back. And now that I'm on my desktop, we're going to load a program called, it's through AverMedia, and it's Record Central 3. Now, we launched that program. That's going to bring up the gameplay. Now, you can use it to record with, and I do sometimes, but it actually takes a lot more resources to use when you're hitting record than OBS does. Some people might think I'm dumb not to just load it up in OBS, but I have a problem. When I load it up in OBS, my computer crashes every time. I don't know why. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll record it right here, but sometimes that causes lag. The recording won't lag, but I won't be able to play off my monitor. I'll have to go on the TV and play because the input's all lagged out, right? What I do instead is we'll load the game here, right? Set it up all on the highest settings, and then go into full screen mode, like so. And then I'll load OBS, which I'm using right now to capture all this. But I'll just load OBS and capture that monitor, right? But for the sake of this, actually exactly what I'm doing right now, minus me on the screen. So how I'm capturing is exactly how I capture right now. I'm using OBS to capture this screen. That's exactly what I do. So I got the game, and obviously I launch it, and then we just, you know, record the game, and you close it down when you're all done. And same thing, when I want to play on the PC, I use OBS, so I don't have to stop recording because I'm just gonna, you know, search for my Gears of War 4, launch it on the PC, and simple as that. So I don't have to launch the Record Central 3 for the PC games, obviously. There you have it. That is now the PC one loaded up, and I would be capturing that gameplay. I would do the same for the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube, but I would do that through the Record Central, exactly as you saw me do it with the Xbox One, just using component cables instead. Alright, so after you record all your gameplay, this is when you would do your research, you know, find out about the game and everything. You could do that beforehand, but I always do it after. So then, you know, I'll go to Google, I'll type in Gears of War 4, and primarily I use Wikipedia for all of my researching, but I do find as much sources as I can. I want to be, you know, very thorough, and sometimes I'm wrong. People prove me wrong all the time. It happens. So, you know, I'll load up Wikipedia, you know, I'll go to websites like this, what I'll type in a lot of time is Gears of War history, find websites off of that, like there's Wikipedia pages just for the games too, like this, where you actually get a lot more information about games and stuff than you do here. So I use both of those. I'll use IGN. I use any resource I can. I'll go through 10-20 websites sometimes just to gather all of my information. So after you have all of that done, you go in and then you write your script. I usually open up Microsoft Word. Well, anyway, I already have my script written. This is basically just the template. I do read off of it when I do my side-by-sides, but I change it a lot as I record it, because when you play it back, you're like, oh, that sounds terrible. And then you do a lot of rewrites as you're recording your audio. After you have your script done, you then load Premiere, obviously, to start editing and recording your voice and everything like that. Alright, so I already started editing, sorta. I didn't really edit, but I put all of the games and clips together. So this is what I have so far. You know, I'm going to do graphics on low, medium, high, ultra, and Xbox One. And then I'm just going to transfer just to compare Xbox One and ultra, because to be quite honest, there's really not that much difference between medium, high, and ultra. The only ones you can really spot the differences is on low. But we're going to get into that as, you know, on the side-by-side. So we're going to move this out of the way. I know you guys want to see it, but that's for the side-by-side. After that, you then start recording your audio. So then I click on the audio track mixer. There's the record button you can't see because it's behind my picture. And then I click this button and click play. When I click play, it's going to start recording my voice. After that, I then drag over my script and I start reading my lines, like, Gears of War 4 was developed by Coalition and published by Microsoft Studios for the Xbox One and Windows. It's part of the Xbox Play Anywhere campaign. Blah, 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 you get the gist. And like I said, sometimes I play it back and I'm like, oh, that did not sound good. Let's reword that. That happens quite often. And then once it's all of my audios together, I then start from the very beginning and start editing as I go, as I record it. Because I record all of my audio first. Well, actually, I record all of my script first, which is just like the history of the game, where I talk about the background and stuff. And then I go in and I edit all of that. I put in every scene, every clip, all of my pictures I find online, I put that in, and I finish that part, which is usually the longest part. And then after I do all of that, I bring in all the gameplay elements, and I start looking through the game and seeing like, oh, this is a cool comparison. And then I go, what can I say about it? And then I type about it real quick, and then I record my audio for that scene, look for a new scene to compare or talk about, and that's how I finish it up with the comparisons. So after I'm done with my whole video, I then go in and I export it, you know, blah blah blah. And once that's done, I go into Photoshop and I make a banner. We're not going to go into that, but I make the banner for it, upload it to YouTube, you guys get the rest of it. So that's how I make a side-by-side. It's not that complicated. It's hard, but not that complicated. And it takes me forever, like 10 to 20 hours to edit one episode. Well, to record the gameplay, get the editing and all writing, like 10 to 20 hours it takes me. So it takes a long time. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the Gears of War 4. I'm going to get that done, I promise.